Hey guys, welcome for another video. You are watching. Hi guys, in this video we will see another OWASP vulnerability that is called as insecure communication. So basically, what is insecure communication? What are the characteristics, and what are the things we have to look for when it comes to like finding the endpoints in secure communication and how to mitigate? So these are all the topics that we will be discussing on in this video. So the main characteristics of insecure communication is transferring the sensitive information or any secret keys or uh, any very sensitive information in a request and response uh, like of application. Suppose let me see, like I have an application called Naukri. So I'm not using any FRIDA or objection to bypass. I have used like Epic like MITM. If you people don't know Epic MITM, go back to my previous video. I have showed like three different ways of bypass pinning. You can see how to use Epic MITM in that. So Naukri, I have just like created one account and I have signed up so that like we will be having so much of request and response. So my burp is already captured a lot of request and response. So what is the main thing, like what is insecure communication? In the sense, whatever the data transfer happens between the client and a server, you have to make sure the data is encrypted, because anyone can intercept the data between the transfer, and they can modify whatever they want. Suppose, so see, like we are getting the response data. So here there are no sensitive informations here, so we like that is not so important to modify. If at all, if any sensitive information is getting back from a server, so you have to like see, like I'm just like, see, now Korea app is not a vulnerable, or it doesn't have any insecure communication, just to show you people like how, like what to check like when it comes to insecure communication. I'm showing you guys. So the things, just we have to check for the request and response for any keys or any like any kind of entry points or any kind of security keys or client secret keys we get. So see here, like yeah, like it might be possible in secure communication through third parties also. Apps Flyer is one of the analyticals, the third party. You can see here whatever data it is sending in encrypted format. So a good way of practice is to encrypt all your requests which is sending from your device to the server. So if we wanna see anything like dashboard, yeah, this is access token. You can see the username which has been sending and is premium. These all are some endpoints we can use, in the sense like this is JSON file, but we can use a tag name sometimes to modify and uh, to to escalate the broken access control if at all, if any ID are present, or we can do some tampering to change from premium to, or from free version to premium. We can do such things also if it is vulnerable. And page number 1 2. Okay, so let me send it to repeater. Let me try to modify any page. It was one, right? First, so one page as this, and if you modify to two, that's page number, like you will get a data. Like it is a job data, like job data, whatever you see in the screen, probably like that thing, right? So that is the like most important thing look for. And other examples are encryption keys, a password, private user information, account details, bank account details, session tokens. I think we can see some login request, so that we will get to know something related to session tokens. Okay, so we have OTP here. OTP. Okay, this is not the thing. I think. Okay. Uh, okay. See, this is also one of the thing. Like, actually, in this scenario, they should have encrypted this. Here, I'm registering the account actually. So they should have encrypted the things, but they are not like encrypted. So it is insecure communication in the sense like sending the password as a plain to the server. Uh, so I mean, like it's not a good practice, but to show it as a vulnerability, you have to exploit it. Like, what will be the business impact, and how the company gets in, like impact because of these things. So you have to show those proof of concepts. So this is not a right way. Like it comes under insecure communication because that password should not be sent as directly as a plain, uh, right, to the server. So these are the like major things we have to check in insecure communication. So sometimes in like in the place of password, or if at all, if people are using Microsoft authentications or something like that, they might send Microsoft a key, like security, so like client secret key, which will be very dangerous, right? And other important thing is like sensitive data can be coming to the device from a server. It can be coming from an app out to the server, or it might be going between the device and something else local. Like sometimes for a cache purposing. So what developer does is in sense whatever the request they have got here, right? Like they will store it in a cache. Suppose let me go to let me clear the screen. So let me go to a ADB shell and cd /data slash com dot uh, what is the package name of Naukri? Okay, let me check. ADB shell ps, sorry, ps. Okay, Naukri app. Okay. Uh, so going to Naukri and LSLA, you can go to the cache folder. You have another two. They are using Wally library. So go to the Wally, and you can see there are some lot of cache data which they are kept. So sometimes they will. These are cookies. You can, if you capture a cookie from a device, you can log into with that account anywhere. And sometimes what happens, sometimes some cookies will like sometimes some cache files will store the things like access token and some other sensitive information that is very dangerous actually. You want to show me once again cd /data slash Naukri and lsla cd. I'll show this code cache. Okay, there's nothing showed head. uh in cache only. Cd ca. Okay, we have to come out of the directory cache Picasso cache. Okay, I don't know what is this there. We have some files like, let me open the first one. Okay, so you can see some data, encrypted data, whatever they are storing, they're storing encryption. So that's a good way. But some apps will not be having in like whatever data is there, it will be not having in encrypted format. So you can dig into that and you can check it and you can find any sensitive information and you can report it. So these are other ways to check the data, whatever it is came, right? So the other thing is the usual risk of insecure communication or data integrity, confidentiality, and origin of a data, right? So in a sense, whatever, like if at all, if any company is doing a business, they has to follow the CIA triad. CIA triad is like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We can explain the CIA triad in many ways. Like in terms of products, or like in terms of encryption, uh, hashing and encoding, like that's what, like every business has to follow the CI triad to be a successful business, right? So other important thing in insecure communication is like if the data can be changed while in transit without uh, the change being undetectable, that is very serious. So what happened, like I reported more than 30 plus websites in a last year during the summer, where I was seeing like a lot of like shopping websites were attacked, and it was like it was getting loot by bad people. How, in the sense, they were adding so many products into their cart, and they were going to the payment gateway to pay the money, but they were purposefully they were canceling the payment. But whenever the cancel request is sent to the server, they were modifying it as a success. In the sense, they were modifying the data during a translation. So the server is accepting it as a success. It is not checking the integrity of a data. So that's why I have reported them, and I said them to implement the checksum. There is something called checksum in hashing, so which verifies the integrity of a data. So that will help to mitigate this vulnerability. This also comes under insecure communication. So these are the problems appears, and the things you have to find in insecure communication. So how to prevent them? So you have to make sure it has a very good SSL TLS transport channel, and whatever the things are there, it should be verified from a back end rather than locally, right? And whatever, yeah, you should not send out sensitive information like session tokens in a URL. So there are a lot of ways, like using CSRF tokens to implement to authenticate things. Following your best practices, so, like, is always recommended. Use strong industry standard cipher suits with appropriate key lengths. So yeah, storing your passwords in terms of hash is always suggested. Right, and use certified signed by trusted CA provider. Like what happens sometimes, like when we were installing bub, we were not able to see or like hear, like listen the traffic of any app, because our mobile was unable to trust the bub suit proxy. That is why we installed the bub suit CA certificate. Let me show you. I think it is something like user, yeah, port figure. So I have installed it. So that's why we install a CA like port figure certificate to make sure that whatever it is there, it is valid and it can be trusted. Never allowed a sign like self-signed certificate, and consider certificate pinning. You have to make sure like your certificate like your app has very good security pinning, and don't use the default libraries which is given by OKHTTP, and try to modify the few things inside that, so that it will be very difficult task for attackers to modify it. So only establish a secure connection after verifying the identity of the endpoint server using a trusted certificate in the keychain. That is a valid thing, right? You have to make sure, you have to verify the server endpoint whether it is a trusted or not. So alerts the users, or like user, if the UI, if you install the certificates general in your general mobile, always there will be like if you install a burp certificate in your mobile, there is always one pop-up showing a notification like you have connected to untrusted source network can be monitored, like that. So that is also one of the good move. Like these things are in higher Android versions. As I'm using a 7.77 or 7.11, we don't have such feature yet. So always make sure that you notify the user what is happening behind, right? So this is a small intro on and small brief information on third OWASP, that is insecure communication. So let me brief it once again. So insecure communication is nothing but like the data shared between a client and the server in an insecure way, like passing a session token, secret keys, or confidential informations in an unencrypted format. So that gives a way for insecure communication, and we discuss the ways to mitigate, like impose very good SSL TLS and encrypt the data with appropriate key lengths, use very good cipher suits, and never allow self-signed certificate, and begin the transmission of data only when you verify that server endpoint is a trusted certificate, right? So this is it for this video, guys. If you guys got any doubts, please let us know. See you again in the next video. Bye bye, thank you.